It worked. Finding Gnosis.
Tell us what topics you would like to see explored on the Finding Gnosis show. Don't be a passive consuming creature, sitting on your sofa with your thumb lodged up your arse all your life. Sitting there like a bored yet furious gargoyle spewing out whatever is put in your head by others, whilst balancing precariously on the edge of your sad existence. An existence of watching the thoughts of others drift past your window, and then moaning about whatever the wind blew your way. Do something. Be involved in the creative process of creating the zeitgeist, of directing the conversation, rather than just passively consuming whatever occurs. Whether up to now you have been an interested party or some snide, snarky little sideline gnome muttering at the shape of things after they have already taken form in the garden where the thoughts of others grow. If it is not to your taste, that may well be your fault for refusing to help shape it when the clay was still wet. It is up to you whether you like what emerges or not. Perhaps you are content to sit there with your thumb lodged firmly in the exit of your mind's eye, your arsehole yelping at whatever rattles past your frame of reference. Maybe that is the full extent of your appetite. Fine. But for those of you who feel something in you recoil at the thought of such a limp and spectator-bound existence, get involved. Give your opinion on where we should go to find Gnosis. Throw something on the fire. Help steer the thing. Empower yourself and others by helping shape a collective movement towards something more worthwhile than passive reaction and stale, snide and bitter commentary. Whether you like it or not, you are part of what will be. So speak. Throw us all some topics that you would like to be discussed as we collectively try to find Gnosis. Thank you. Much love. DNW.
Disclaimer. This show is for discussion and entertainment purposes only. The Finding Gnosis show is a platform for open discussion, exploration, and opinion sharing. The views expressed by hosts, guests, and participants are personal opinions and do not constitute professional, medical, legal, or financial advice. All topics discussed are only intended to spark curiosity, entertain, and encourage independent thought. If any subject interests you, we strongly advise conducting your own thorough research using reliable and professional sources. Critical thinking and due diligence is key. Stay curious, stay informed, be well, be loved, don't
Dum dum
Hello everybody, welcome. This is the Finding Gnosis show. We will be with you shortly. Someone is backstage, we're just waiting for a few more. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another Finding Gnosis show. We are trying to find Gnosis. We are trying to find out what the hell is going on in this strange existence. And, you know, what it is that we should do whilst we are in this strange existence. We're comparing and contrasting our experiences, our ideas, our perspectives. And, yeah, we're trying to find a speck of a spark of Gnosis. And that's what we're all about. Welcome to all the regulars. Lovely to see you all again. Disco Cog, great to have you here. I hope you are well today indeed. And we have Lady Pristine herself. Good to see you, darling. I hope you are particularly well indeed too. And Alyssa, lovely to see you, darling. She says, hi there. Hi there back. I hope Mr. Guru, aka Carl, is doing well. Your husband. Fatima, good to see you too. She says, hello everyone. Hello. And all of you who have said hello so far, good to see you. Hello to Styles Nayandani on Facebook. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Nice to see you here too. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. This is the Finding Gnosis show, and we are about to commence. Now, the title today might be a bit bizarre, nothing new there. It's entitled, for those of you who can't read, it's entitled Nuts Buried in Muck. Shit heaped on us daily. How do we grow through the crap? That is the title of today's show. That is the conversational icebreaker. As usual, we may meander here and there, but at least at the start of the show, the emphasis will be somewhat, I say somewhat, loosely somewhat, on the topic. And you know, we are all nuts, basically, here, there, everywhere, in this life. I think some of the craziest fuckers out there are the ones that consider themselves sane. They're only sane because they're not neurotic, and they're not neurotic because they see things in a very linear manner. They don't question what they're seeing. They don't consider other perspectives. They think they have the answer. They feel confident. They feel sure. They're moving forwards with that mindset. But if you ask me, that is utter insanity. Perhaps, I'm just putting it out there. Perhaps in this strange topsy-turvy world, some of the people we view as neurotic, insane in the membrane, nutters, maybe they are actually, funnily enough, the same ones, because they're the ones actually wondering what the fuck is going on. They're considering all different perspectives, and that's why they are trapped in this kind of world of thinking this way and that, seeing two things can be true at once. Perhaps, you know, from an intellectual perspective, they are more engaged with this reality. Perhaps they're less dangerous than the ones we view as sane, because the ones that we view as sane just keep walking with that one-dimensional way of thinking, not questioning what is happening, accepting the narrative. Well, where has the narrative got us thus far as a species? Look back at the history of humanity. Look at the present day. We are in deep shit. I repeat, We are in deep shit because motherfuckers think they're sane. Because motherfuckers don't question reality. Because motherfuckers sleepwalk along in this robotic fashion, walking in a straight line, not questioning what is going on, not thinking about other perspectives, thinking they know it all. We are in deep trouble. I repeat, we are in deep trouble. And as the title suggests, we are all nuts. And by nuts, I'm just using a metaphor. Like we are little acorns. We are little horse chestnuts. Buried in muck. Covered with shit. Crap heaped on us daily. Literal, metaphorical, cultural, political, spiritual. Every marker, every notification, every headline, every social media post, every quiet little soul betrayal from our friends, family, teachers, loved ones, people we used to admire. Every little bit of it, just another piece of crap, just piling on top of another piece of crap, suffocating us, covering us up in a layer of wet, heavy crap, overloaded with crap. And yet, here we still are, for some reason, still pushing, still trying to reach upwards, trying to find something, trying to outgrow, rise above, transcend the utter crap we are buried within. Because, you know, guys, that's how a nut becomes a tree. You know, you'll only be nuts if you stay in the shit. A nut, to transcend the shit that has been heaped upon it, has to crack open, has to push through the filth, keep growing, changing the shit into wisdom, changing the shit into past experiences, changing the shit into learning, moving on, growing up, until you actually break through, guys, break the surface, rise above the shit. And you're not just surviving in the dark anymore, you're flourishing above it. You're rising above that which once confined you, the complete and utter shit that is currently overwhelming you, that is currently all around the world. You are becoming a tree of knowledge. Your roots grown in the dark, in the dank, in the deep, dark, smelly, crappy shit that you grew up in, that you were taught with, that you were miseducated with, that they tried to bury you in, but somehow or other you've managed to break through, and you're trying your best to stay above this shit, and you're trying your best to bring others with you out of the shit. You don't know what you're doing up there. It's a strange place being above the shit because not many people are there with you, but you know it's the only thing you can do. It's the best place to be. It's what life is all about. Trying to turn shit into something meaningful. And so, guys, today I just want to ask you a simple question. What shit that has been piled on top of you, that has been piled on top of all of us, do we somehow have to feed on and turn into wisdom? That we have to perhaps change into something else, because that's what nuts do, guys. When nuts are buried deep in shit, they transform it into something else. They transform it into their own personal growth. They use shit to grow. So I want to ask you guys, what shit can we use to grow? What shit has been thrown at you and us as a people? And how can we use that to fertilize our growth? How can we use that to get some wisdom and knowledge and turn it into something else that isn't shit? that isn't utter shit. So hit me with it. Hit me with the shit. Throw the shit at me. How are you growing through all the crap? The utter crap. Hello to Nefarious Rockers. Can you tell me, please, 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 about the shit that is being heaped on us all daily, and how we can perhaps use that shit to gain wisdom and knowledge, turn it into something else, turn it into something meaningful? Do let me know. Nefarious Rockers, you're on the Fighting Gnosis show.
Yes. So unfortunately, our reward system hasn't facilitated with comfort. Rather, the information we hear every day on a daily basis or the shit that depresses us, makes us dread what tomorrow might have for store. It's bad, but with the wisdom of the horrors of reality, we can grow more compassionate and grow to. We can use the shit to grow as people. But it's hard because a lot of the times we would rather be in denial of the horrors of reality. We would rather try to be in comfort.
And if you deny it, you'll just be a nut in the shit. You'll just remain a nut in the shit. You won't grow, you won't transcend, you won't rise above the shit, you won't turn it into something else, you won't turn it into something meaningful.
It's a tug of war between motivations about being a nut in the shit or a tree that spreads out from the shit. A lot of the times the motivation to lay there in the shit as a nut, that prospect might seem more tempting than growing out of the shit, but a lot of the times our compassions motivates us to sprout out from the shit, and thus a lot of people do. Like Heaped the Torty, for example, became a vegan who used the knowledge of the suffering in factory farms to sprout out from the shit. And a lot of people use that knowledge and I guess take the red pill in some way. However,
Thank you for that.
once one should I
Keep going.
yeah. However, once one faces the bitter reality, there it can weigh on the conscience, and one might not be sure about how much to do to sprout further from the shit or not. Compassion.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed, Nefarious Rockers. A wonderful start to the show. Please don't run away. You have a habit of coming on here and dropping some wonderful wisdom and then disappearing. You're like this kind of phantom, this wizard who just comes out of nowhere and then disappears. I hope that you can stick around a little longer this time.
This is the Finding Gnosis show. If you would like to join the conversation, please click on the link below the video now.
Chickpea, we're nuts covered in shit. How the fuck do we cover this? How the fuck do we try to survive and flourish when we are being covered in shit daily? It's been heaped upon us, Chickpea. We're suffocating. We're literally up. Yeah, so I'm asking you, what shit should we turn into something else for growth? Because that's what nuts do. Nuts are meant to turn the shit into growth. So I'm asking you, what shit can we utilize to turn into wisdom, to grow as individuals? Can you tell us the shit that you're zoning in on in life and you're turning into something meaningful? Do tell us, Chickpea. What did you say? You like something? Go ahead. Sorry, the microphone is yours.
No, that was a lovely speech you made there. Are you really that pissed off today?
I'm trying to motivate rather than
Are you really that pissed off? I'm just asking.
No, I wouldn't say it's pissed off, Chickpea. I'm not actually pissed off. I'm just merely pointing out how I think things are.
No, okay, fine. Yes, I know it's a shit house.
What did you like about it? Tell us.
I loved it. Well, you know me, I love hearing you gripe and groan and moan and everything. That's why I come here to listen to you moaning. I like a good moaner. You know that, Grumps.
Okay.
Right,
Now, thank you. Yes. But Chickpea, in relation to the topic of the show, what shit has been heaped on you, has been heaped on us as a people, and how can we turn it into something meaningful, some wisdom, so that we can grow out of the shit and transcend?
Grow out of the shit. Well, as you know, you're born, they fuck you up, and then you die. And when I look at my own life, I was well and truly fucked up. I was the one that had to go and get the treatment. I'm the one that's had to forgive, and I'm the one that's had to forgive. I'm the one that went through it all. I have to forgive it all. But no asshole's forgiving me for anything I've done wrong. That doesn't seem to be happening. And
I forgive you, Chickpea.
I think this planet's a shit tip. You know how I feel about the non-vegans and how much I hate them. Yes, I'm sorry, Grumps, I hate them, okay? I know I shouldn't say it because it mustn't say nasty things about people, but I've had 71 years of it. Well, and quite frankly, I look at us and I think we're a really nasty little species, actually. And I'm feeling very despondent at the moment, to be honest. I'm all right, but I'm feeling very despondent. And I don't know what else to say about it, really. I look around me and quite frankly, I don't know what to... Oh, no, sorry, my cat just scratched me. Sorry.
I'm sorry to anybody who just suffered a heart attack. Apologies. There was a disclaimer at the beginning of the show, so please don't sue me. It was actually an act of God, an act of nature. It couldn't be accounted for. We couldn't have predicted that. That was Chickpea's cat.
Yeah, well, I've looked after that cat for 30 years now. Every day I cuddle her, kiss her, feed her, everything. I happen to touch her, and she will scratch me.
Right. Chickpea, whilst you're getting yourself together after that rather shocking experience, I'm just going to have a little commercial break.
Stream somewhere now to bring in new voices for our conversation. We do not want to become an echo chamber. Share the stream now. Bring in some new thoughts to compare and contrast our ideas with theirs. Because Gnosis is not found in isolation. Good places to share the stream include your social media platforms such as Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, YouTube, community posts, Reddit, Discord. Share now. Bring new voices to help us all find Gnosis.
Yes, share the stream, guys, wherever you can, and also join the conversation. The link's below the video in the description. Just click on it and you will be on the show. We're talking about the shit that we are trying to survive within, the shit we're trying to outgrow. And I'm merely asking the question, what shit can we transform into wisdom so that we can move on, so that we can grow as individuals and transcend the complete and utter shit show that we have been born into? Chickpea, I want you to please think carefully now and describe in detail the shit you have come across in life and how we can transcend it, because I'm looking for growth here, Chickpea. I'm not looking for stagnation. I want the nut to grow into a tree of wisdom, to grow above the shit, to transcend it, and also to bring others with it.
Well, one thing I've learned about life is that, as you know, I'm quite a radical antinatalist, and I think everyone should stop breeding. And I would just say, Grumps, and you're not going to like this very much, because every being that comes into existence has to grow old. And you know what? The aging process is an absolute bitch. And it really is extremely unpleasant. And I don't have one single good word to say about it. My brain is stuffed full of crap that I've learned over the 71 years I've been here. That's been shoved down me. It hasn't been of any worth to me whatsoever, because it hasn't been. And my brain is so stuffed full, I can't get any more in it anymore. And I look back on the 71 years, and I'm not saying it's been terrible, but at the end of the day, like David Benatar says, there is a lot more bad in life than there is in good. And I haven't had a hard life, Grumps. I haven't, actually. I've had quite an easy life, barring the RA. But I think for most of us, like Danny says, there's more bad in life than there is good, unless you're very, very lucky. I don't know if you know or not, but it takes 5 good experiences to outweigh 1 bad one. Do you know that? It's 5 to 1. And
Sounds a bit pseudo-scientific, Chippy.
No, it's been proved. Also, have you ever read The Myth of Normal by Gad Saad?
No, tell us.
Yeah, he talks about autoimmune disease. And autoimmune disease actually stems from a crap childhood. And it's all to do with your immune system attacking healthy tissue. And it actually does this. You know, and you can't win. You can't win.
Okay, Chickpea, what I'm getting from this is perhaps you're not seeing something. And yes, I agree. A lot of that is complete and utter shit that has been pushed upon you by this strange existence that we're all sharing. But what you're not doing is you're not transcending it, Chickpea.
No, I'm knackered, DW.
You're not asking others to turn that shit into something that would benefit others. Now, you mentioned Chickpea, if you let me speak for 1 moment. You've had your chance, darling.
Oh, there's a few.
Chickpea, darling, 1 moment. If you'll allow the man in the room to say something.
Yes, okay, Gramps, go ahead, speak.
Sorry, Nefaris is a man as well. And I'm not being misogynist, I am only joking. But Chickpea, what about the fact that you just said you don't like growing old. Growing old sucks. Yes, I agree. That is shit. That is utter shit. But is it not? Is the wisdom to be garnered from that not that we as a society should be ploughing more money into elderly care and also researching the aging process and trying to perhaps stall it or even reverse it? So that may be turning that shit into wisdom, which is a way of growing. Okay, so we could say yes, growing old sucks. Growing old is shit in a lot of cases. It's not all shit, Chickpea. Growing old allows you to have, if you survive long enough, you'll have more wisdom, perhaps, and you can be more. You can play a better game of chess. Sorry.
Your brain gets stuffed full with it. My brain is completely stuffed full to the brim. Plus, insofar as medical care goes, Grumps, I'm looked after very well indeed by the state. I can't actually criticize the state for 1 tiny nanosecond. And I can't. All my needs are met.
But Chickpea, do you get what I'm saying? Old age sucks. Getting old sucks. Perhaps the aging process sucks, right? Old age doesn't suck, but the aging process sucks, right? Now, well, no, it may not suck. Like if you could be old, but you didn't have all the elements, it wouldn't be so bad, would it? If you could be 100 years old but not complaining about your physical health, it wouldn't be so bad, would it?
Oh no! Even you know what? Back in the 80s, my grandmother said to me, my gran would have been like my gran stuck it out. She was 104. I remember back in the 80s, I went to visit her, and she said to me, "None of it's been worth the effort." And she would have been in her 80s. She would have been 60 then, I suppose.
She actually said that to you?
He said, none of it's been worth it, because I was there moaning about, can't get a boyfriend, can't do this, can't do that. She said to me, what do you want that for, what this and the other for? And she said to me, because you know what, none of it's been worth it. I suppose she was talking about having 10 children and all the work.
What age was she when she said that to you?
Sorry? I was 34, 30, or thereabouts. She would have been 70, my age.
And she said, okay.
Yeah, she said that to me. Yes. And my grandmother wasn't a miserable old bag like me. She wasn't. You're a real optimist. If you have 10 children, you have to be a bloody optimist.
I'm going to call out a few people in the chat. Dirty Lowlife, Are You Puking? Lindo Wicker, Nibbles. I said, Are You Puking? Disco Cog.
And also,
Discog, sorry. Yeah, all of you guys, please come on. Links in the chat. Fatima, come on, save the day. We need more voices. We need more nuts trying to break through all the shit.
Well,
you know, and to become trees of knowledge. Trees of knowledge. Not many make it there. I don't know if it's ever been done, but it's the only thing to try and do. To grow through the shit. To transcend it. To break out of it. To stop being a nut. And to grow into a mighty tree of knowledge. Sorry, Chickpea, what were you saying?
Right, aging process. And I'll tell you something now. I'm not aging as badly as most old people I know. I've got one neighbour, he can barely walk downstairs anymore because he's got stick. Another guy, sticks. I don't need sticks. I can still run if I want to. I'm aging better than most people are. And even I'm finding it an absolute pain in the neck. And I'm sorry to hear that. Doing better than most. No, I'm doing better than most people are. And I am, but it doesn't get talked about because I think people don't want to upset their children and their whatevers. But it never gets talked about. But I tell you something, Grumps, I wouldn't wish the aging process on anyone. And I'm not doing this battle. I have a good authority. I'm doing better than most old folk are, even though I moan and whine and groan nonstop.
Sorry?
I have been told by doctors, by my GP, I'm in better shape than most people of my age are. I have that good authority.
No need to brag.
I'm just saying, I've got it easier than most people have. And I'm finding it a very taxing experience.
I'm sorry to hear that, darling.
I'm a grumpy. I'm a grumpy.
I hear you, but do you get my point, Chickpea? That is true. It is shit. But perhaps another something you could do is turn that shit into wisdom to grow and provide meaning to your life. And some of that, and I'm suggesting the meaning that could be derived from it is to say, getting old sucks. The aging process sucks. Therefore, we as a species need to put more money into research for how to overcome aging. We also need to plow more money into caring for the elderly. We are wasting too much money on trivial and pointless things. We need to be putting more of our energy into something that is extremely important, and that is trying to combat the shittiness of the aging process. Perhaps, Chickpea, I put it to you, that is the meaning to be derived. That is the wisdom to be gained from the shit that you are experiencing, from the shit that everybody is drowning in this regard.
But Grubguts, the rich and elites have got stuff to make the aging process easier. Look at people like Joan Collins. Have you seen her lately? She has got the zest of a 70-year-old. Okay, there is stuff for them that they can use. Look at
maybe there is, but maybe we should be trying to get it out to the masses.
Yeah, well, I reckon a lot of us do the data.
Maybe it shouldn't be something for the rich and famous or the psychopathic elites. Maybe everybody in this existence. Nobody chose to be born, as you so rightly point out. Nobody chose to be born in this existence where shit is heaped upon us daily. Therefore, we must start trying to help individuals. We must start trying to help individuals. Maybe that is the meaning of all this, Chickpea. We must help everybody. Nobody chose this. Have some sympathy. Have some love. Have some consideration for your fellow human being.
But that's our antinatalist, Grub. So I say to people, don't have any children, because you know what I believe. When we leave this shithole, we'll recycle for another 70 years, and that's something to look for.
But what about the ones that are here now and the ones that will be here?
Yeah, well, we should try and do our best till we get...
You can be an antinatalist all you like, but that's not going to stop people coming here, is it? And I'm asking you, what can we do? What can we do, Chickpea, to turn the shit into something helpful, to turn the shit into wisdom that might help us grow as human beings to become enlightened to transcend all the shit, and then to bring others out of the shit with us.
Grumpy guts. All right, then leaving aside anti-natalism, I spent my whole life wittering and twittering about animal rights and meat eating. You know what? I may as well just talk to the fucking wall, because no one gives a shit anyway. No one gives a poop.
This
No one
is
gives
the Finding Gnosis show.
a
If you would
That's
like
why
to
I'm
join the
talking
conversation,
about it.
please click on the link below the video now.
Anyway, Grumpy Guts, when you all get yourself done, when you all get yourself chipped, I'm sure that Palantir guy and his mates will have something wonderful lined up for you all. I'm sure he has.
Peter Thiel.
No, that guy who runs Palantir, Alex Watson.
Yeah, I think his name's Peter Thiel. Yeah.
No, the other
Did you
guy,
know if you rearrange his the letters of his name,
Yeah.
it spells out the reptile.
Wouldn't surprise me one little bit. I haven't done that, but yes, I expect it does. Now I'm talking about that other
Did you
guy
know
who
that,
runs
Seb?
Palantir.
I didn't know that. That one
Yeah.
man.
Thing is, Grumps, we are the invention of the demiurge, an asshole god who brings us into existence, and you either do or die. And if you do die, the asshole just recycles us. So on we go.
Fatima Yuzu, come on. Dirty Low Life, please come on if you can. We need more voices. At the moment, for some reason, Chickpea is being a stubborn mule, and she is stubbornly deciding to stay totally entrenched in the shit. She doesn't want to try and swim out of it.
Yeah, I don't waiting to die, Grumps. I'm waiting to die and go into the dark. I'm only staying here for the cats now.
Chickpea, what do you think of this? Does this make you happy? I made this kind of weird little introductory music.
Come on then.
That was especially for you, Chickpea.
Oh, I prefer the one about I should go to bed with my cat, but never mind.
Growing.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, we have Fatima on the show. Sorry, Nefarious Rockers, what did you say?
Growing from shit is a matter of endurance. In this analogy, one can be a nut that grows out from shit.
So how old
Yes.
are you,
After
Nefarious?
one grows a little bit, the shit pile can keep stacking up, and one needs to
It can.
continue to grow.
One must never stop growing. One must never stop trying to outgrow the shit.
Nefarious, how old are you, Nefarious?
28.
Oh, well, no wonder you're all positive. You're still a baby. I'm nearly old enough to be your granny. I am old enough to be your granny if
Yes.
if I pushed it. Grandma?
Okay,
I
here
am
we
the
have.
old oak tree.
I don't know, Chickpea. I don't know.
It's a
I
matter
think you
of
might be growing the wrong way.
Graham.
You might be growing downwards rather than upwards.
No.
You might need to reorient yourself to grow out of the shit rather than into it.
But you can't grow out of the shit. The shit is the whole planet shit.
Oh my goodness me.
You
Is
start.
nothing sacred? Is nothing sacred?
Nothing is
Is nothing sacred?
no.
I'm just saying.
I think we're gonna have a musical interlude to try and change our perspective. So this is our musical interlude. This song is called Solipsistic Crazy Bastard.
It's my favorite, actually. Yeah.
You talked about me.
Where do you go to? 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 When you leave my mind's eye. When you leave my mind's eye. Yeah, where do you go to? 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 When you leave my mind's eye. Solipsistic crazy bastard. Solipsistic crazy bastard. Solipsistic crazy bastard. Solipsistic crazy bastard. Where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go when I close my eyes? Where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go when I stop thinking about you? Solipsistic crazy bastard. Solipsistic crazy bastard. This world is all about me. This world is all about me. This world is, but if I be the one, but if I be the one imagining everything. Why can't I imagine a better world? Why can't I imagine a better world? Why can't I imagine a better world? Because I'm a solipsistic crazy fucker living in a world where only I exist. I'm a dumb cunt. I'm a solipsistic crazy bastard dumb cunt. I'm a solipsistic crazy bastard dumb cunt. I can't even imagine a better world than this. No way, I can't even imagine a better world than this. I'm a solipsistic crazy bastard dumb cunt. I'm a solipsistic bastard crazy dumb cunt. I can't even imagine a better world than this. No way, I can't even imagine a better world than this. I'm a solipsistic bastard crazy dumb cunt.
Hello, Fatima. Fatima, you're on the Finding Gnosis show. Welcome back. Great to have you here as always. The title of the show is the kind of icebreaker for us to have a conversation. This show, basically, Fatima, I don't know if you were listening, but I was thinking of the idea that perhaps all human beings are just nuts buried in shit that has been heaped upon them by this strange phenomenon that is existence, shit of their own making and shit of the making of others dead and alive, others from the course of human history, but others from those in existence in the present day. They're surrounded and covered, they are immersed in shit, and the shit has been their education, the dogma of their religious upbringing, the socialization that they experienced,
The social cues.
even perhaps their own psychology. They are completely and overwhelmingly covered in shit. And I'm suggesting that, a nut doesn't have to stay a nut. It can actually grow through the shit. In nature, a nut literally turns the shit into nourishment to grow above the shit, to transcend. And I'm using that as a metaphor for each and every one of us as human beings. We are all nuts trapped in shit. Can we turn that shit into wisdom that will help us grow and perhaps become mighty trees of knowledge that manage to transcend all the complete and utter shit of our life, all the complete and utter shit of the world? Can we grow through the shit? Can we burst to the surface? Can we provide something for hope for others? Can we be the ones that help others get out of the shit too? Fatima, sorry for the long-winded explanation of the show, but you get what it's about. Go ahead, give your thoughts.
All right. I'll just give my immediate first impressions. Yeah, but I don't think everyone is capable of being a so-called mighty tree of knowledge. I think that most humans are just like intellectually stunted in a way that's like not they're like disabled, but in the way they're just like they're not curious about like life's questions and biggest mysteries. So I'll only say only a few quote unquote nuts can actually like learn from their traumas, experiences, can learn a few cues from like their past like excursions back then, their trials and errors. Only a few people know how to harness that without making the same mistakes that the people who wronged them and how the world wronged them, without falling into the same trappings that they did. Only a few people can actually achieve that form of like transcendence, for a lack of a better word, to overcome, their crowd mentality, the expectations, the inauthenticity of things. I'm a very philosophically minded person, so like I think that, well, me being who I am, I think that the mind and like the consciousness is a curse, right? That's my opinion. You can take it or leave it, but like I think that if self deletion is not the answer, you might as well just be a type of a tragic hero and just survive in like your life, because your life is a part of this world, this very, very fucked up world, and your life could be fucked up. But I am starting to think that you can at least struggle, kind of like how like a lot of Greek heroes did. Even though they ended in tragedy, they still found some type of reassurance, or like some type of like I guess you can say catharsis within the struggle itself. At least they define themselves on their own terms. I think that the best persons, or like the most advanced humans, quote unquote, at least on like an intellectual level, do that. But I don't see that for like 99.9% of the species, because they still follow, the cues in social and religious and philosophical, even, and psychological trappings that the modern world seemed to put on us, which is like, just like apathy. What else? Extreme form of self-centeredness that kind of like denies, like, the possible knowledge and humbleness of others. By humble, I mean that you must know your limits of knowledge, that you can't know everything for certain. So yeah.
Thank you, Fatima. Now, if I may say something, you seem to go towards what I thought you would go towards, and that was to be a tragic hero. Even though you are in shit, maybe the best thing to do is to try and survive and be a tragic hero, because what else is there to do?
Yeah.
And Fatima, may I suggest also you hit another piece of shit there that might be very important to analyze and perhaps turn into some wisdom that might help us all and help. It might be something that would turn your life meaningful. And that is, you said most people are not intellectual enough to understand or appreciate a way of transcending the shit that they're in and the shit the world everyone else is in. So therefore, Fatima, if that's the case, maybe the goal is to help those people, perhaps, Fatima, to have some empathy for those people. They know not what they do. To provide empathetic steerage for them, to help rise them from the shit because they can't do it themselves. Also, Fatima, maybe it does go back to, if they're not intellectually able, maybe they haven't been fortified with the maybe they were never taught how to think, in their schooling. Maybe it's not that they're naturally unable to think, they were just never taught how to think.
But how can you go through life as it is and not come to the realization, oh my God, I am in deep shit. I must find a way to transcend that. And I just don't see that for the majority of people. And DNW, I'm not trying to sound like a selfish, but if I have to help others, who's gonna help me besides me, right? Or do you think that it? That's kind of the thing. I'm not trying to sound like an egoist or anything, because that's something I'm against. But how do I not gosh, how do I say this? How do I not waste trying to save everyone before I can save myself as well?
Well, maybe Fatima, I put it to you that just as you can't save everyone, you ultimately can't save yourself, but you can actually try to save. Maybe perhaps in saving others, you can save yourself, or at least get meaning. Trying to save others, you can get meaning that will actually help you survive in a positive way rather than a toxic way.
But why does Fatima want to survive in this shithole? Why does she want?
Because of the will to live. Because there is work to do. We are in shit. Maybe the work is trying to help others get out of the shit. And if Fatima exiting stage left doesn't do anything for the shit that we're all in. Fatima understands that.
But
can I quickly get in, because I'm not going to be here long.
Ross,
hello, Ross. Good to have you here, brother. Go ahead. You know the topic of the show, Ross. You know the topic of the show. I don't have to explain it. Go ahead.
I'm just going to get in here quickly. Thanks, Fatima. Good to see you all, Fatima Chickpea Rockers. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to be the one to drop the black pill on this one, because when I think about the world, existence, humanity collectively, right?
Yeah.
All of the great human beings that have emerged, they're not a drop within the ocean. So I remember the title of this, nuts buried in muck. It reminds me of in Buddhism and Hinduism, those Eastern religions, they use the lotus flower. It's a very powerful symbol because the lotus flower itself grows in very murky, dirty water, but a beautiful flower blooms. But say this, it's a very beautiful symbol, but it has no real bearing in reality, because you're just you really don't understand DW, how stacked the cards are. The majority always will win, and the majority are a bunch of fucking deluded fucks, man. I'm sorry to say that. Look, at the end of the day, humanity is always going to be plagued by the same thing, with nature. All of these great thinkers, they just kind of come, people celebrate them as men of their times, and then their works and contributions, they just fade into the ether. Let's be honest, man. Nobody gives a shit about, all these guys after even the ones who practice their religion or their teachings, quote unquote, still quarrel as to what was really said, by words. So I'm sorry, I'm not for people to ask themselves means. I take my inspiration actually from a character of fiction called Guts, the Black Swordsman from Berserk. If anybody reads manga.
Berserk, yes.
Yeah. In Berserk, there's a special class of people who it's called the strugglers, and I love that word. So I consider myself and probably all of us to be what we call the struggler archetype, which is Sisyphus pushing the fucking boulder up. It falls on your face every other time. You're gonna carry on. You have to try and imagine yourself happy. That's the only real way to get through this life. So we're all strugglers, and the rest of humanity, they're just fucking, like Fatima rightly said, they're just in ape mode. And like Danny and Nolan said,
I don't think imagining yourself happy is good enough, because you may never be happy, you may not be happy. I think you have to imagine yourself lucky that you're going somewhere. And that even though you're upset, you're depressed, you're down and out, you're still pushing that stone because you think you're going to be lucky and you're going to get somewhere. So rather than think yourself happy, think yourself lucky and that you are actually going to make it.
Yeah, that's a good insight. But when I say imagine yourself happy, I just imagine, because you can't get around the fact that there's so many things in life that you don't want to do, but you're compelled to do them, you know? So I just imagine myself when I'm at work, like, okay, it's only truly prison if I don't want to be here. There's a lot of like little koans and maxims I use, you know, little sort of Jedi mind tricks to kind of create a paradigm shift. Because I too don't believe in dragging your fucking legs, dragging your feet through life, because that's a horrible way to live as well. But it's the struggler archetype, like Guts from Berserk. You have to overcome the impossible. Which sounds fucking crazy, but that's pretty much everybody's life. Like at the end of the day, life is very difficult. It comes with its own set of problems every day. You know, it's very uncertain. Like I said as well. But I'm sorry to say, man, like this whole metaphor about people are just nuts buried in the muck, or lotus flower can bloom. It's just not true for the majority of humanity. We are literally we are outdone and outweighed and by the masses. Every single era that will be the case, man. There's no such thing as mass enlightenment or that. I just don't believe it, man. I actually believe this quote unquote enlightenment or waking up or gnosis is a mutation in the simulation. Like it was like Neo in the Matrix. I know it's a bit cheesy, but Neo is seen as an anomaly, right, in the Matrix. So I would argue that all of us, in our own forms, are all anomalies, because DNA in life has its own code, and it wants you to go through this thing, you know, just following the code that it's set for you. But what we're doing now, and what others have done that we're inspired by, we're all anomalies. But yeah, thank you for giving me that.
Thank you, Ross. And I know you've got to go somewhere, but I hope you'll be back later, brother. It's always a pleasure to have you on, brother.
Thank you. Love you all. Take care. Bye.
Pamela, great to see you here, darling. She says, imagine yourself looking at yourself pretending to be happy. At least it might make you laugh for a moment when you're not happy. And Dirty Low Life laughs at that little bit of advice from Pamela. I think that was quite funny, Pamela. We like that here. We like that here on the Finding Gnosis show. Thank you very much. We like a bit of humour, a little injection of, good humour, the funnies. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. And actually, it's not untrue either. I mean, if you can get to that level where you I've been there before, actually. You get hit with something, you just experience more shit being flung at you, and you just sit there laughing. You know, you just continue, laughing at it. You laugh in the face of the shit because you think to yourself, oh, here we go again. I've been here before. More shit. Ha 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 ha. You know, if you can get to that stage, sometimes that helps you through. Sometimes. We have someone backstage here, Mrs. Thumper. Let me just check. I don't know who this is, so I'm going to put up a little shield because they're called Mrs. Thumper, but then they're going by another name, which is a man's name, because I can also see their YouTube name, which is a man's name. So I think this could possibly be a troll. Let's see. Mrs. Thumper, you're on the Finding Gnosis show. What would you like to say? I'm going to remove you in 5 seconds if you don't say anything, Mrs. Thumper.
Social Willy, Mrs. Thumper.
Mrs. Thumper, you are getting kicked out of the studio. Actually, no. Hold on a second. I have a feeling this is actually Yuzu, because that's Yuzu. Yeah. Sorry, it's the rabbit. Yeah. I remember. I said you got saved at the last second, Mrs. Thumper. That's your rabbit's name, is it? Because Yuzu.
Yeah.
That's Yuzu. Okay, Yuzu, you're on the Fighting Gnosis show. What would you like to say, Yuzu, in relation to the topic of the show today? Do you get where I'm coming from with this metaphor, with this idea? Oh, Yuzu left. Yuzu is no more. Maybe Yuzu will come back again. Guys, get your finger out and share the stream. We do need some new voices. We don't want to become an echo chamber.
Share the stream somewhere now, to bring in new voices for our conversation. We do not want to become an echo chamber. Share the stream now. Bring in some new thoughts to compare and contrast our ideas with theirs. Because Gnosis is not found in isolation. Good places to share the stream include your social media platforms such as Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, YouTube, community posts, Reddit, Discord. Share now. Bring new voices to help us all find Gnosis.
Guys, when you share it, at Finding Gnosis, so I can see that you've shared it, so I can thank you, yeah? So, yeah. At me on YouTube or X or wherever it is that you're doing, and I'll see that you've shared it, and I will thank you for it. So please get sharing so we can get some new voices here. We have a Pristine. Lady Pristine is in the house. Good to see you, darling. You're on the Finding Gnosis show. Do you get where we're coming from with the topic today? If so, would you like to give your thoughts on it?
What's the topic again?
Fatima, would you like to explain to Lady Pristine the topic of the show?
The topic is that like there's a lot of in the words of DW shit on you and like you're a nut, but some nuts have the capability to grow and become like trees of knowledge. Do you think all people can do that, and how would you advise people to achieve that status of being a tree? Yeah, just how do you like pretty much go through
Just as a nut turns. Sorry, go ahead, Pristine.
I don't have any nuts, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyways, shit on nuts. Okay, I don't know what to say about that. Just drink some coffee, and I think you'll be okay. Listen to some music and chill out. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you, Pristine. Appreciate you. Guys, there's plenty of seats here. Do come on. Nefaris, you've been quiet for a while.
Yes, I want to talk more about analogy. A lot of these nuts, or I guess ignorant people, might be better off that way. But then when the tree starts growing, the tree starts sprouting branches, and then the branches will have shit on it. So what I'm going with this analogy is the more one embraces the knowledge of suffering, the more awareness of it one will have, and one can be infected by even more ideas that's like the shit. And endurance and grit plays a huge part at all times. One has to be aware of one's core motivations. What is the purpose? Why am I doing this? And there is a lot of temptations. There's a lot of temptations because with this awareness of the cruelty and suffering, one can be tempted to become nihilistic or solipsistic, or be willfully ignorant about what is going on. But in order to not do that, one has to be reminded about one's core motivations and why one is doing it. For instance, one of the core motivations one can have could be to help others, or it could be to help, stuff like that. the reward system plays a big part in how people respond to this environment. A lot of the times, one might be too bored to do anything in order to get one's ass outside and do activism or do other things. One might have to fight against boredom in a world full of temptations.
Whoop day. Nefarious, when you get old, you no longer get bored because you're too tired. One is too tired to get bored. That's one thing I've noticed about the aging process that no one talks about.
That's a great point, and that is something I've thought about myself.
Yes.
There's a
yes.
trade-off between somnolence and boredom. The more somnolent one is, the less bored one is. In order
Yeah, I'm
to
not
be
bored.
bored,
Knackered
the
with it all.
electric
No.
boredom is contingent upon the electrical currents in the brain flowing
Yeah.
and all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
when you
But
get
if
old,
one
that
is
goes.
somnolent, a lot
Yeah.
of there's even medications like gabapentin or other things that slows down electrical impulses in the brain, and similarly natural somnolence does the same thing.
Some fantastic points there. I really admire your maturing views, Nefarious Rockers. In my view, from my perspective, not that it actually matters any more than anybody else's, but I think you're doing very well.
Thanks.
We have Yuzu here. Yuzu Lemon, what would you like to say? Welcome to the Finding Gnosis show. I do hope you are exceedingly well. What are you going to say today about the topic and any correlated ideas around it? Go ahead, the microphone is currently in your hand, virtually.
I mean, I would personally say that I agree with Fatima and Chickpea. I would say for the most part, I don't really believe there is any way out of it. I mean, I suppose when you're young and you're fit and healthy, I don't know, let's say you're young and you're fat, like, yeah, maybe if you leave the house and you lose weight, I suppose you've gotten through that. But like when it comes to life as a whole, like life does get worse as you get older. You slowly, your organs start to fail. You're at high risk of diseases like dementia, cancer, a bunch of other issues as well. You die anyway in the end. So I don't think there is truly a way out of it, really, to be honest. I think we're all fucked in the end.
Well said, Yuzu. And I'll tell you something. Have you read Danny Shine's book? What he says about everything? His book says it all. And it really does say it all. About whole life and procreation and everything. He says it all. Yeah. And I would add, Yuzu, I don't have a bad life. I haven't. But quite frankly, I think it's a hellscape, this planet. It's a blood-soaked shit pit. Sorry, Grumps. I'll shut the fuck up.
I've never said it wasn't a hellscape. Never ever. I've actually said it is, but I just don't think you guys have any answers to the problem that is existence.
With no answer.
You're acting as if you're doing something virtuous. You're saying something meaningful, but I think it's a big nothing burger. Helps nobody. Helps nothing.
Grumps, I haven't said anything virtuous.
You're making out that these AN ideals are the answer to everything when they answer nothing.
Because they are the answer to everything. Because if people stop breeding, we would go out of existence here. That's true.
But they won't stop.
No, they won't stop. I know that. Same as meat eaters.
Oh, that's their
problem.
So, you know.
So therefore, it's a big nothing burger. You're biting into nothing. You're speaking nothing. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry. I love you. But the problem is, it's nothing.
Yes, I I know, but I'm just saying that's what I've
Love
tried
is a
to
lie.
do. You've asked me what I tried to do. I tried saying that to people. No one gives a poop.
Yeah,
That's
D and
what
W. You have to realize that the majority of men just do not give a fuck. you
And
know?
I'm not concerned with non-existent beings. I'm concerned with beings that do exist and will exist, and how can we make their plight better?
Now here's my question,
You
D and
can't.
W. Will these beings care about my feelings or no?
Maybe they will. I do. Why shouldn't they?
Well, at least you try. I'll give you one thing. You at least try to be empathetic, but like 99% of people I met in real life, no, like they're just like extremely shallow and like
No one gives a shit.
yeah, it's shallow.
That's not true, Chippy. That I'm sorry. I'm going to have to push back on that. A lot of people give a shit. A lot of people give a shit.
Like who?
Like who gives a fuck?
There's lots of people. There's lots of people volunteering. There's lots of people who do things just because they want to. They befriend. They befriend elderly people. They don't even do it volunteering. They literally choose to befriend the elderly, someone who is vulnerable. They look after people. They maybe give them things and don't expect anything back. People aren't always as horrible as you paint them out to be. In fact, sometimes they are much better people than, dare I say, even you.
Okay, then help them.
This is just manufactured rage bait. He's actually just joking. He's trolling. It's all
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not, Christine. I'm not actually joking. I'm not actually joking about that. And I think it's true.
You better start thinking that you are D and W.
Why do you say that, Fatima?
Because all of these ideals that you say are ideals are not helpful, but I think that your ideals are just as helpless as ours, because like we're not the ones like deciding the fate of the world.
I'm asking for a practical response to matters. You are talking about nothing, and you're saying nothing. I'm asking. I'm trying to say, how can we help people who exist? What should we be concentrating on? Okay, from today, I've heard. Listen, from today. 1 second, darling chickpea. 1 moment. I will give Mike. I will give Mike the mic to chickpea next. You know, today all I heard was getting old sucks. Yes, okay, it sucks. Well, therefore, instead of saying, oh no, life is shit, we need to end it. Well, first of all, you have to appreciate it's not going to end. It's a phenomenon that popped up from who knows where. It happens. Life is here. I'm afraid we'll have to just deal with it. Now, Fatima, if things do suck, that to me should give you a goal to make them unsuck. But you guys don't seem to want to tackle the problems as you see them.
The world unsuck.
Like, do you not believe in science that perhaps we can somehow counter the aging process? We can counter the aging process.
DW, they want to kill off a huge proportion of the human race.
Do you believe we can counter? Do you believe we can potentially counter the aging process? Make it such that most people will view it as not a problem anymore.
You know what's the only way to actually stop aging is it's a horrible way. Chickpea would like know this, right? Adrenochrome, right? Chickpea, that's the only.
I wouldn't do that.
And no one would dare do that.
Oh shit! Sorry, Dirty Lowlife. He's been waiting. Fatima, look, I love you all, but you know the truth is. Unfortunately, I understand you care deeply, I know that. But the truth is, you're offering no practical solutions.
He just said adrenochrome. That's a solution to aging. Well, I wouldn't take that out.
But it's a horrible one. It's a horrible, awful one.
I wouldn't take that out.
Well, we don't have exactly. That's a horrible one, Fatima. Why do we have to go there? There must be other ways, or there might be other ways.
That already exists, and like I think if there's other technology that reverses aging, they are never gonna hand it to us. Who are we to fucking them? You know?
Why did they give you antibiotics?
Why? I don't. Well, that wasn't the elite.
Why did they bother trying to cure anything that you get if they don't care about you?
It wasn't.
It's actually bad for you.
Corporation D&W, they're there to make money.
They give you
Maybe
this
they
stuff.
are. Maybe they are.
They are.
But maybe making money won't be the end point of humanity. Maybe we'll move beyond making money.
Wow, you're an optimist.
There is
Wow,
no
you are an
solution to
optimist.
this.
Maybe. Look, I'm just putting it out there. We have to test ideas, okay? We have to test ideas.
Oh,
Dirty lowlife. Am I talking complete and utter shit? Am I part of the problem? Am I the shit that people have to try and move through to transcend? Perhaps I am. Dirty lowlife. Dirty lowlife. I'm open to being pointed out as being a piece of shit. Dirty lowlife. What do you think? Let Dirty lowlife speak, people. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
hello.
Yeah, I think. Well, just on your question, DNW, everybody's a sort of action towards progress is somebody else's resistance towards what they're trying to do, because we're all trying to go in different directions. To riff on your analogy a bit, yeah, a few things have already been said, but I mentioned it in the chat. How many thousands and thousands and thousands of acorns and nuts and seeds does the canopy produce every season? And how much of that as a ratio actually turns into some vegetable that turns into a tree or a bush that fruits again? I think the ratio is pretty damn slim.
It's not a lot.
Not a lot at all.
Now, can I? Yeah.
High, right.
Now, Dirty lowlife. I'm not literally talking about the tree producing more literal trees. This is a metaphor for knowledge that helps us transcend as a species. So the tree doesn't actually have to produce literal acorns. It's a metaphor. So it produces knowledge that helps bring up others from the shit. It's a metaphor for knowledge helping others get out of shit, basically.
But perhaps we are a product of the demiurge, the arsehole god of this world. He's an arsehole.
Yeah, and also-
Okay, I tell you what.
I'm going to roll with it a bit, if I may. I think
I'm going to take a back seat for a while and let Dirty Lowlife say what he wants to say. But Dirty Lowlife, guys, give him room to talk. Give him a moment to have a stream of consciousness. See what he comes up with. Guys, try not to be overly negative. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being negative and cynical, but try and test your ideas. Try and test them yourselves. Take a contraposition. Do what you will, but let's not go into this beset on, being right. Let's try and see if we can even test ourselves conversationally. Go ahead.
Yeah, a few things came to mind just on the analogy. I think a lot of nuts don't embrace the shit. They roll around on the surface of the shit or land in the rocks or land in the river. They don't get buried deep enough or the correct way up. So there's something about embracing the muck you're in that's necessary for the seedling to begin. And I also realized that the really big trees cast a very big shade around them and don't give much light to the forest floor. And I thought all of this is rather strange that there's only so few seeds and nuts that actually become trees. But then I realized that all the birds and the squirrels are eating the nuts. So what I came down to is that perhaps the purpose of the seed is not given to it by the tree or in the seed itself, but the purpose comes from somewhere else. Something is deciding the purpose of each seed as to whether it's going to become a tree or going to be food for some squirrel. I strongly believe that we have a purpose here, but I don't believe our purpose is our own. I think our purpose comes from somewhere else, and it's more about being in alignment with finding that than driving it, if that makes sense. I've got one other thought. It's on the question, how do we grow through the crap? I've had this strange revelation recently where I realized that I've had this conception all of my life where the world I'm looking at, what I call the outside world, is on the outside. And I describe all of my feelings and thoughts and sensations as being on the inside. And I realize it's only a conception. It doesn't actually need to be that way around. And you can essentially invert it just through imagination. And then you don't have this small container to fit all of these parts of what feel like yourself into. There's actually the outside is very large, and you can have as much different parts of your ego as you want, and they can all swirl around and they can come and go, just like the birds and the bees do. And I found that's given me a lot more space. That's actually Crazy Guru suggested invert the world and turn it inside out, and you can see yourself as on the outside. And since I've meditated on that a little bit, it's started to make a lot of sense. So yeah, just some stream of consciousness thoughts. Take it what you will. Oh dear, I've flopped there.
Okay, this is weird.
Is that stunned silence, or am I in an alternate reality now?
Nope, still in the same one. Always in the same one. But it can be edited and altered, unfortunately. Hello, DNW. Did you fall asleep at the wheel? I think he passed out. Well, that's great.
He stepped out
Those
to probably
rose-
get some tea.
Someone has fused rose-colored glasses onto his forehead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
And he also,
In the meantime, I guess we could talk about compassion exhaustion, since it hasn't been brought up too much, but it's very prevalent. When someone is a nut and tries to become a tree, compassion exhaustion can hinder further growth. Awareness of the reality might hinder further growth, and as I say, one should have a Goldilocks zone of compassion too much, and one tries to shield oneself away from reality but too little, and one does not care enough to become a tree. So what are your guys' thoughts about it?
well, eventually all trees have to be cut down, right, to be used for like paper and fuel and houses. So if we're all just going to be trees, it probably won't matter much, because all life is like inherently finite and
We're
limited,
loose,
right?
Fatima. We are loose. I truly believe that there's something out there feeding on our energy and our misery, and
That
we
sounds
keep
very
adding to
plausible.
it, adding. But yes, and I also believe, because I do believe the elites want to kill us. You know that every now and again we have a big war, and I
Yeah.
reckon there's a real loose fest coming up, and they're going to kill a load of us off, and they're going to have a real loose banquet.
It's for their entertainment as well.
What?
They do all this for their entertainment. It's like a circus for them.
Yeah,
Circus
yeah.
show.
Yeah,
And
it's a game.
They do want to harm us and kill
Yes,
us and all
but
that.
never
They
lose
probably
banquet.
Yeah.
I resonate
Yeah,
greatly
well,
with I resonate greatly with the idea. Just as a thought experiment, though, what do you make of the idea that the demiurge is a construct or creation of the mind of the individual?
No. The demiurge invented this shithole. I don't care what anyone has to say.
I think
It's the outside consciousness.
that's outside.
It's
Yeah,
not-
if there is such a thing as
I
a
tell you
demiurge,
something.
it will definitely be outside our existence.
Dirty.
Yeah,
And this what gets me about religious people. If there really was any kind of a God at all, he would not allow us to behave the way we do, either towards each other or towards the animal kingdom. He would put a stop to it, because I know I certainly would if I was in charge. Doesn't
And
give
also-
a shit.
And also, Chickpea, you being you say this all the time, but it does send a point. Why would a creator make over 92 billion animals suffer, knowing that that's what's going to happen? Because he knows everything, right? You
He
know.
knows everything. Yeah. He's an asshole. Absolute asshole.
So yeah.
So in
I hate
my
him. I
understanding of the
I
story,
hate him. What?
in my understanding of the story, it's Sophia that gives birth to Yaldabaoth, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I don't give a shit who's giving birth to whom. This is the situation I'm in. I'm just a little old lady stuck in it all against my will.
Mm.
Yeah, everyone
I
is.
feel similar, Chickpea. I feel stuck.
Yeah,
Yes,
stuck.
everyone's stuck,
Look at it.
and like you should be mad because like you didn't ask for it, you know.
Didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Didn't
Yeah.
ask for any of it.
I'm just wondering why in the story wisdom gives birth to the demiurgic mind.
Because in the end, wisdom can also be a great source of a despair and anxiety and like dread, because you know everything. So like, what's there else to know besides you know everything? There is no more, I guess, yearning or wonder or like surprises. Yeah. So like, if you know everything, then like, what's the point of even doing anything? You know, like you know what's gonna happen. You know all of the ins and outs of the reality that you constructed.
Isn't
So,
that with Schopenhauer? He said that the enjoyment doesn't come from the goal that's being achieved, but from chasing the desire itself.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, he
exactly.
says
That's
that, yes.
Schopenhauer. If you
Yes.
want to get really more extreme, you can go to Philip Mindlander, right? He's the extreme pessimist, yeah, because he says that even that doesn't matter because everything eventually dies because because in the cosmology of Philip Mainlander, God deleted himself to create our universe, and the universe is just his rotting body. That's why everything's breaking up now. That's why entropy exists. Yeah.
Here's a conspiracy theory. Do you think that when God died, from Mainlander's theory, that his death then created like the demiurge, and then that demiurge created Earth?
Could be because I think Mainlander was working with the notion of like classical theism, that is, God is pure being, but he inverted it by saying that God has to die in order to sustain existence. You know what I mean? Yeah, because inside classical theism, like Aquinas, like Thomas Aquinas, the great saint of Christian philosopher, he says that God is pure being and he's like sustaining reality. Philip Mainlander just grabbed it and was like, yeah, but like, look at all of the suffering of the world. Look at all the humans and animals that have to endure pain every day, every pain state. And like,
okay, thank you for that, guys. We have Danny Shine. Danny Shine, welcome to the Finding Gnosis show. We're talking about the analogy, Danny, that we're all just nuts buried in shit, and just as in nature, nuts feed off that which they're buried in, the muck, and then they turn it into something else, which is growth, and they become mighty oaks above ground, towering over the shit that they were once immersed in. Danny, I'm simply asking you, as a nut buried in muck, what of the shit can you point out that we can somehow grow through? Can we turn into wisdom to grow as individuals? Can you point to any shit in particular?
I mean, I'm starting to worry more and more about your sanity or lack of it.
Oh, Danny, I do love you. You're so funny. Love it.
Thank you for your concern, and may I add, I mirror the concern for you. So I'm glad we're both so empathetic. But go ahead and try and relate things to the topic at hand, if you can.
What, you're assuming that I want to, or that I'm interested in your stupid questions?
Oh, Brandon, that's told you, hasn't it?
The bull has escaped from the field, and someone has to put it back in.
Later.
Exactly. I don't know what you're doing on this show. I don't know why you're entertaining these bunch of reprobates. They've got nothing to do
that's a good one, Danny boy.
about the demiurge. I mean, come on, guys. Pull yourself together, guys.
Let me guess, Danny. We all have to keep it inside our pants, right?
Who do you think's in charge of this shithole then?
You're asking me who's in charge?
Yeah, who do you think's in charge?
Yeah, who created all this madness?
I mean, who created it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's a who that created it. I have no idea. Why do you care?
Well, it's Well, then there's something that we could target, you know, who is
Oh
responsible
no, you
for all
can't
this.
target it.
Mm,
Don't be
There's
silly.
something that is
It's in every
responsible.
cell of it's in every cell of your body. It's the dastardly DNA.
DNA. I knew you were going to
that's
say
responsible for
that.
this. It's the diabolical natalist agent, DNA.
Danny, they're actually mostly on your side here. All of them here. Chickpeas on your side, Fatima's on your side. Who else is on your side? Nefarious Rockers. Yuzu is on your. Everyone here is on your side. Dirty Lowlife, you even said something here that sounded like you're on Danny's side about the oaks basically dropping acorns that mostly end up in the shit and never go anywhere. So, Dirty Lowlife, I mean, you're more or less singing Danny's songs too.
Yeah, I'm just more leaning towards that it doesn't matter, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
I'd like to address that. I would like to address that. You know, with something from my younger self that no longer exists. But so I remember quite an interesting experience of mine when I was just about 30 years old, which is almost half of my life ago. And I was in a hotel, and I was approached by this piece of paper, and it said, John de Ruyter, the living embodiment of the truth. And being the curious chap that I was, instead of just, you know, realizing that some nut job's going to just about to speak, I went in there and I got mesmerized by him. Look him up, John de Ruyter. He's well dodgy nutcase. Anyway, I got mesmerized by him, and I left the evening, and I spoke to a really good friend of mine who was into philosophy and stuff. And I said, "Oh my God, I've just been to this hearing, John de Ruyter, and basically what he said was nothing matters. Oh my God, what am I going to do?" And my mate said to me, "Yeah, you're right. Nothing does matter, but do things matter to you, right?" And then put me right in my place. And that's what I would say to anybody that says it doesn't matter. Yeah, but it matters to everybody involved who's suffering. That really
agree, absolutely.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Suffering has the most value to me, you know. Suffering is all we got to like make like judgments, because most of the things we do is to avoid pain and suffering.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's just how we are, you know, as creatures, as I don't know what we are, just
What if there's sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, what?
I was just going to say, if there's something responsible, then we can point our finger outside of our own DNA, because ultimately, there could be any, like, if this is some kind of infinite loop and there is no end, like you think that death is the end, what if it's not? You don't know for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So there could be, I mean, people talk about meeting jesters during DMT trips, and that these jesters basically just mock them and say fuck you and you're a retard, you're a dummy. They just insult people. So if we've got external beings calling us retards, mocking us, saying fuck you, well, can't we say fuck you back to them? Why is no one doing that?
Yeah, we could.
Why is no one trying to find the beings responsible for our existence, you know, and trying to take it up with them, you know?
I've
Being
never,
man.
I think maybe we should make a video. Maybe we should make a video.
one, I must
This is,
admit.
you know, put out a message for those people responsible for our existence. We need to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those people responsible for all of our lives.
Please contact us at this email. We can arrange. We can arrange
us
a
your
live
phone
discussion to get some
number,
questions
yes.
answered.
Your face.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm getting a message, guys. God is talking through me. I didn't ask this to happen. It's happening. I'm sorry. It's happening right now. Okay, you are here. You are here to find out what is going on, and one day you will.
Yeah.
Well, my gran never
What a
did. She
cop-out.
lived 104 grumps. I'm just saying.
Couldn't think of anything worse.
104, I know.
100 100. That's a long time.
Yeah, she was euthanized. She was under 4 years old.
The longest member in my immediate family who died was like I think 101. Yeah,
Yes.
101 for literally 101. And you know how they died? It was very, very like just like this is why life is horrible. They
Yeah.
died by choking to
Oh
death
my
on
God!
food.
Yes, exactly.
At 101.
Danny Shine. Pamela says Danny Shine is lovely, albeit sounded like Victor Meldrew, but even more endearing. On a serious note, she does agree with many of the things he says. That's from Pamela. Kenny's here. He says, breaking news. The UK terror threat has been raised to severe for the first time since 2021 after the Golders Green attack on Wednesday. Yeah, that was a bad old attack.
We were just. Can you imagine if like something like happened in Brixton and they just raised the threat up? People are being stabbed up in Brixton every day of the week.
Yeah, everyone gets stabbed. Like in America, everyone gets stabbed like every hour. Like, why would they raise it to such a high level of?
A brand name for a biscuit.
Are you puking? Says Danny is the old man shouting at the clouds. Final boss. Whatever that means, Danny.
Only one cloud.
Danny, I noticed the guy. One of the poor fellas that was stabbed was a Shine. Did you know that?
Right.
And no relation.
Yes, no, it was my dad.
It wasn't you that did it, was it?
No, but I don't know why you laughing. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. My father's suffering is over.
Nobody died. Nobody died in the attack, did they? I hope not.
Well,
No.
we don't know that.
No relation.
I have to say, I thought the police footage was very good. The police dealt with it very well. I think it was good what they did in the how they countered it. They did well. Those two officers deserve a pay rise.
That's true.
It's their job.
What if it's quantum immortality, Danny? What if you never die?
Oh, please.
Like that. I mean, that might be the brutal, honest reality. It might be the truth, the ultimate.
Like the type of
Truth
reincarnation.
is that we're just
Depends what
having
you
a
mean by
coffee.
that. That kind of thing doesn't compute, because if we don't remember our previous lives, then how would we know we never died? I mean,
What if we're just in a cosmic machine and we just
Christine.
return to being a yes.
That's why we have to go into the dark. Right. David Icke writes about this a lot, actually. And apparently when we die, we go through a checkpoint onto the next level. And there's this tunnel of light, blah, blah, blah. And all your lovely previous relatives there, etc., etc., etc. Then there's the dark. And apparently you should go into the dark, which is terrifying thought, because no one's ever come back from the dark, but people have come back from the light. That's what I'm practicing on, going into the dark. That's the only escape.
Sounds good. I'll definitely aim for that if I
you have to practice a bit, because it's scary. I'm practicing it because I've only got a few years left, hopefully. Well, I bet another 30 years yet, knowing my luck. I'll be a little old lady in 100 years old, walking with a stick.
Ooh,
How many cats will you have by then?
What?
How many cats will you have by then?
7. I'll probably still have a load of cats. I'll still have a load of cats. They're the only thing I live for. Sorry to be so grim.
No, like cats are like amazing creatures. They are very amazing.
Yeah, they're gorgeous things. Even when they scratch you.
Oh yeah.
And bite.
And bite and hiss.
What?
I hope they men in black me. I hope they erase all my memories of this life and existence. If I do end up somewhere else, and yes, I hope it's better wherever I go, and that they literally just erase everything.
Christine, did I tell you about when back in the 80s I went to the hypnotherapist to stop smoking? And this hypnotherapist somehow or other took me back to a time before I was born. And I found myself in a blue dimension and I had
Oh.
my soul and I had my consciousness, and I watched my own conception, and this cell started dividing, blah blah blah, until it was a baby basically. And then I
Right.
put my hand out on the forehead with a V on it, but I was born with a V on my forehead. Even when I told my mother, she went green.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yes, it's really weird. It's very
Very
upsetting. I'm still trying to find out what the hell's going on. And I would go and
Yes.
see a hypnotherapist, but I'm too scared because I get upset by something that I can't cope with. Because I've been here before and I know I have. I know it sounds
Actually,
mad.
it is interesting. I have looked into near-death experiences, and blue does come up frequently,
Yes,
like
yes.
some kind of
Yeah.
blue light. And I have
Yes.
seen, I have done breath work, and I did see some kind of blue dot or something purple. I don't know what that is or what that means. I think it might be some kind of chakra. But yes,
Yes.
existence is very, very strange. I have
Weird.
absolutely no idea what is actually going on, but I do get the feeling that someone is responsible
Oh, yeah.
for all this madness, and they are a intelligent motherfucker, and they are absolutely straight up evil, and they're just trolling us and tricking us and just doing all kinds of insane shit to people, and it's just absolute madness.
Yes. We are
And,
we are
Yes, go
victims the same ways we victimize animals in laboratories and factory farms. They're doing it to us.
Exactly.
That's what's going on, literally.
And I fear it may never end, and that is what I was trying
Well,
to
I
point
think
out
we
to
need to
Daniel.
stop breeding. That's why I'm so anti-breeding.
Oh, yes,
Because I think
I
that's
would
the
agree.
only
I would agree.
solution. Huh?
I would hope so. I hope so. I hope that is
Yeah,
the
that's
only
the only
solution,
solution.
and it's not solipsism. Because if it's solipsism, that means it's only me, and all you fuckers are not even real.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to exist forever in my own consciousness.
Don't worry, we're here too. Yes, we're here.
According to Roy Puking, he said, "Are you puking?" Sorry. In my opinion, it's impossible for eternity to not exist. I broke it down logically, and that's the only outcome of all realistic possibilities.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well,
Yeah.
I think, and then I said that like I think eternity can only be real if the universe has like a reset, like it's just a loop over and over again, because like that's like kind of like the field that like some astrophysicists are going. It's not a point A to point B. Now it's like a loop. It's gonna restart over and over again. And I think that
I think it'll either be eternal return, yeah, or the best we can hope for is that space is infinite and that things are just like there's no real end to it and there's no beginning. It's like the ending is localized, but it sets off something else in the infinite plane of space. Do you know what I mean, Fatima?
I think it's important to read out 166 Nibble's point. This is very important. Just do the breath work and the fisting, just no breeding.
What?
He's right,
And
unfortunately.
I agree 100%.
He's right.
100%.
Yeah, he's right.
The fist.
Yes.
Careful what you wish for.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's correct. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah.
Some fists are bigger than others and may cause permanent damage.
Oh god damn.
Well,
Yuzu Lemon is back. Yuzu Lemon, what do you want to say? Speak or forever hold your silence.
I don't really have anything to say at the moment, to be honest.
You might as well have remained silent then.
Pretty much.
but Pristine,
Why are you here?
I don't know, just in case I might have something to say. Like
that's as good a reason as any. That's actually a better reason than that's the best reason I've ever heard for anybody coming on the show. Thank you.
Welcome.
Christine, have you ever had the sequence of events changed by an external force in your life? You ever experienced that? Christine?
Can you say that again, Chickpea?
I asked her if she'd ever had the experience of having her reality changed by an external force, like I've had happen to me. Just asked this happened to her. It's happened to me. It's happened to me in Berlin. Huh?
Sorry, I stepped out. Sorry. You were asking about an external being.
Have you ever had the sequence of events change by an external force that didn't make any sense?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, yeah, I have as well. Yeah, because I tell you something, Christine, and I have tried to commit suicide as well. And when I took my overdose, I took a really massive, massive amount of stuff, and I knew exactly what I'd taken, and it was huge. And the doctor said to me, there is no way I could have taken what I'd taken because it would have killed me. But I was in a coma for 5 days, but I had a strange feeling that I've got this horrible feeling that I'm actually destined to live against my will until something decides, okay, you can go now. I know it sounds weird, but I should actually be dead, and I'm not. And it's happened to me twice, that weird experience.
Are you sure you're not?
What?
Are you sure you're not dead?
Yeah,
I think everybody here is dead, and
Danny.
I think you're all already dead, and I am just reanimating corpses here on the Fighting Gnosis show.
I wish I was dead. I really
Could be the case, BNW. You could be attacking necromancer.
I'm just getting little corpses to become reanimated and do a little dance for a while, and then when I turn the show off, they go back to being dead.
Yep. That's a good one. I like that creation.
You know what that reminds me of, DNW? You ever seen the cartoon with like the dancing skeletons in black and white? Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that cartoon. Yeah, it's like it's like from like the 1920s. Yeah, it's like a meme now.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to come on? Link is in the chat. Our Lord and Savior Danny Shine is here to answer your questions. He won't be here forever. He will get pissed off eventually and leave.
I was nearly killed twice last year as well.
Really?
Oh, really?
No, I didn't mean Danny. I didn't mean it like that. I meant you'll get pissed off with the show and leave soon. So if anybody wants to talk to you, they should come on. Yeah.
Can you tell us about those experiences?
Danny, do you want to go live on your channel?
No.
Fair enough.
So, Danny, what happened? Did it actually happen to you?
Well, you know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Well, I got diagnosed with a terrible cancer.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
And then I was knocked over on my bike.
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah.
Oh,
right.
Well, yeah, I think I remember hearing.
I'm having a dinner break, so feel free to find Gnosis without me.
Oh, yes.
Quite bleak.
And
all right.
I've also recently nearly died of boredom.
You're really that bored?
I think we've all been there.
On this show.
I think we've all been on the show. Yeah, man, this is
Danny,
that is a really good one.
I mean, the conversation here is enough to kill someone. It's so bad. Such poor quality. On and on and on. Talk absolute rubbish, most of you. On and on and on. Rubbish.
Just rubbish.
So, Danny, are you still using the comfrey as I told you to?
No, I'm sorry. I need to get it out again.
Yes, you have to use it, Danny, 4 times a day. Quite a big
I'm gonna do it. I promise.
I got it yesterday, actually. So mine's on the way. Yeah, I got it yesterday. So it's going to be in the mail. Anyways, yeah, that was really funny. I recently died of almost recently died of
life changing in it. And there is. I have to say it. You know what I find so sad?
What do you look like? Chickpea?
Sorry?
What do you look like?
What do I look like? I'm 5'6" tall. I got blonde hair, and I weigh about 8 stone. I'm very skinny. I'm Dutch, which is why I'm tall.
Right.
Why?
Must be quite thin if you're 8 stone.
Yes, I'm very slim. Yes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
just.
Do you remember Twiggy from years back?
Yes.
Yes, she was my heroine when I was a little girl, and I used to live my life Twiggy style.
You've gone down in my estimation now.
Why?
Twig.
I loved her.
They.
Why? What's wrong with not loving Twiggy?
What's right with Twiggy?
What's wrong with her?
What's right with her?
Twiggy.
I thought she was good. Well, I'm a similar colouring, and I've got the same colour hair.
Yeah,
and
it's about looks. I mean, looks isn't important that much. I know I asked what you look like, but still.
Oh, I love Twiggy. I adored her.
The dichotomy there.
This is what I'm saying now. Once again, you are driving me to take my own life now. It's so boring.
Daddy.
That is quite an accusation.
Twiggy, I think I'd rather.
On this show.
I'm now thinking like, swinging from the rafters, starting to look more.
You would have liked me then when I was younger.
No.
Imagine if you did die and
you don't like.
You ended up in an alternate Finding Gnosis show, but what would be slightly different about it in an alternate reality of the Finding Gnosis show?
We'll all be happy.
So, Danny, you don't like skinny women then?
It's not I don't like skinny women. It's I just don't
The
like. I don't like most humans.
Well, that's fair enough.
That includes,
I am a vegan,
I'm bored. I'm basically bored by most humans, and this room is just so boring.
But you're being very naughty, right? And one of your followers, I'm an antinatalist. I'm also vegan.
I know, but you can still be boring.
Yes. Well,
there
is no
I've got
solution.
very high standards. You know what I mean? Like being antinatalist and vegan, and what was the other one?
Antinatalist, vegan as well. I'm very.
I'm thin. Yeah, but you could be those three things, but still, that's a baseline. I need more than that.
What else do you want? Right. Okay. Study divinity.
What'd you say, Chickpea?
It might be a never-ending search for Danny.
No, divinity. I used to be a Bible freak when I was young.
Oh yes,
Bible freak.
Bible freak. Oh my God, those are one of
I
the
was. I know. I can't believe it myself. I was a real wild child, but at the same time, I was always buried in my Bible. Really weird.
Oh,
I went from one mad extreme to another.
Yes, it's criminal.
So, Danny, are you into cats, Danny?
No, not at all.
Oh, you wouldn't like me then. I've got 7 of them, and I take them all to bed with
You have
me.
cats? Oh my God!
No, sorry.
Danny, I do like cats. I take them all to bed with me, and any man who comes in my bed has to make do with 7 cats as well.
No, I'd only be after pussy.
You don't say to that.
Okay, well,
not yours necessarily, but in general. That's the only
I
cat.
suggest keeping your penis anyway, Danny.
He doesn't like cats. Doesn't like
Don't bring it out.
You like people that don't like cats.
My allergies are real bad today. Good thing with the cat.
I think we should get rid of dicks altogether. How about that? We should just go around and just chop them all off. That might be a solution. Yeah, let's do that. How about that?
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'll do it. That'd be fun.
Let's cut off our dicks.
Yeah.
Cut off their willies.
Yes.
I need to cut them off. Just
Or we could give them to dogs and let the dogs bite them off.
Oh my God. Chickpea, if you don't mind, I would rather be on anesthesia while I'm gonna remove my shit.
No. We love what. Just joking. Sorry, I've got nothing against men or anything. I'm afraid. Yeah.
Anyway, if anybody's got any burning questions, otherwise I've just got to go and hang myself.
I just want to ask you something. I can't remember what it was now. I forgot what it was. So how much do you weigh, Danny? And how tall are you? Danny.
Do I weigh?
Yes.
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Why not?
because it's too much. I'm
Oh, right.
embarrassed.
Oh,
Yeah,
you've
you
been
caught me
eating
out
too
there.
much.
I've been eating too much. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Spain is very rich in food, isn't
Terrible.
it right? Danny,
No,
Spain?
everywhere is. It's
Oh,
nothing to do with the place. It's to do with
okay.
me.
You guys eat food?
Yeah, we eat food. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though I wish I could like not.
Yeah, me too. The whole
Yeah,
idea
I
of
break-
having to
yeah.
have food is just so awful.
I
wish I didn't-
brainwashed myself
I
not
wish I
to.
didn't want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Designed suffering
think.
because hunger is a suffering.
Oh, it is.
It is, in my opinion, designed by a psychopathic, cosmic entity of
Asshole,
sorts.
yes.
Cosmic, I
Assholes.
call God the cosmic cunt.
Yeah.
The cosmic jackass. The cosmic. The cosmic bastard.
So do you, Danny, what's your take on Kate Moss then?
Kate Moss.
Kate
Yeah.
Moss. Yeah.
That's a very strange question. I don't know anything about Kate Moss.
Kate Moss, the model.
What about her?
I'm just saying, what's your take on Kate Moss? She's another one of my heroines. She was also a heroine of mine.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
You
Meaning in the model
very
industry.
nice being part of the Gnosis show. This will be my last one.
Danny, no, come on. Oh, Danny's gone.
Nasal or intravenous?
Oh, what a gold crumb. Oh.
Well, Hey, Retro. How's it going?
Yeah, it's all right. My allergies are pretty bad today, but I was dropping in. I was a little late for the beginning of the show. Well, I had to get some other stuff done. I replanted my San Pedros, and I was just putting them back out in the sun because they had been a few days in the dark, and I was just making sure they were, put out properly. And I really care about my cacti.
Ooh, I love the look of like the cacti, the cactuses. They're so cool. I love them.
Yeah, and I can make a good cacti smoothie. So yeah, it's quite uplifting, if you want to say, psychedelically uplifting, and it's mild, so it's just like not that bad.
Far out.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
so a little bit of cayenne pepper, a little bit of ginger takes away that basic taste of the cacti. Cacti taste like soap. If you didn't know, the real good one.
Thank you
Wow.
for the info.
I mean, that doesn't sound too great. Soap is not, when you swear and your parents tell you to wash your mouth out with soap, it's not by accident. You know what I mean? But also, it sounds kind of dangerous because what if you accidentally get a spike in there and then you're drinking your smoothie?
No. I skin them and cut them up in little bits, and then I freeze them, and then I blend them, and it's a long process. It's about a 2 or 3 day process to get it ready for a smoothie, and then you can prepare it and then mix a little again. A little ginger and a couple spices and stuff to get rid of that basic taste. I use cayenne and ginger, and there's other things you can add in there, but I mean, I use oat milk ice cream and stuff like that to make the smoothie. Or sherbet, like orange sherbet, like the really healthy good kinds. Yeah, a little bit of that with the cayenne pepper pretty much gets rid of the soapy taste. Now, these are things legal that everybody can order. You can get a San Pedro and do this yourself. I got to go check my door here. Something.
Okay, but man, that's very, very interesting. I would love to one day have my own like a cacti, like a garden place, and like make like drinks out of them. That'd be so cool.
I do like cayenne pepper.
Can we bring it back to the fucking topic, please?
Yep. Not.
Ragnar, you're on the show. Welcome to Finding Gnosis. We're talking about being immersed in shit, perhaps from the day we were born, perhaps being miseducated, traumatized, just maltreated, perhaps being surrounded by ignorance and problems. We are in deep shit. But Ragnarok, so are nuts, so are seeds, and they somehow use the shit to grow and rise above it. They become mighty oaks. And I'm using that as a metaphor for people. Perhaps they can grow through the shit. turn it into wisdom to find meaning, and then rise above it and use it to help others who are stuck in shit. Go ahead, Ragnarok. What do you think of the topic of the show? Please give your thoughts on it.
Could somebody mute their soap opera? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Well, you know what? I'll tell you a secret about myself I don't share often. I took a shit on the way out of the womb. So it's pertinent. Uh, you could say I was born in shit. Quite literally. Blood and
Well,
shit.
most of us are. Most of us are. Generally speaking, women do poop when they give birth. It's common knowledge,
Yes.
that.
Right.
Yeah, most of us born in shit.
Point is, it's like, I like the analogy of the seed being planted and becoming, some seeds they become, some seeds they don't. It depends on the environment. It depends on the stressors, and I think in life, if you stop swimming, you'll drown.
I wish.
And the more suffering, right? The better the outcome. I know that sounds
What?
sadistic, but
I don't
if you
believe
hear me
that,
out,
to be honest.
can you let me speak?
Sorry.
Thank you. So some people gain wisdom through suffering because knowledge is suffering. Whether you read the Odinic poems of old, or the Bible, or any other tradition, everybody knows the accumulation of knowledge is suffering. To have that suffering from knowledge, but then do something about it, use it, alchemize it, turn it into something better, turn lead to gold. That is what I'm talking about. And the main people who complain about their lot in life are people who do not know how to alchemize. They just don't. And I grew tired of being in a crowd of people long ago who did nothing but complain about suffering. I decided to keep moving forward. I have people, they know I look nothing like what I went through. They think I had it easy, but if they knew, they'd probably shit themselves. But that's not the point. I'm not looking for kudos. The point is, no matter how hard you had it, how easy you had it, you better alchemize your situation, or you're never going to grow. And that's the way I look at it. And some of you may disagree, but hey, if you want to sit there and shit and do nothing about it, that's you. I'm cutting fence. And to do that, it's going to take some pain, right? Getting out of a shit situation, in between a rock and a hard place, so to say. Um, it's complex. You're not going to get out of that very easily, man. Like you got people who are daily threatened with assassination, witchcraft, all sorts of terrors. You got world leaders and famous people or whatever. They're just the leader of a corporation. You got people facing all sorts of threats daily, and they still go about their life. They alchemize the anxiety of that situation into something else. Make it creative, stuff like that. The individual who collapses under the fear of this world, that's when you drown. All right, and that's why I say, man, not to make it all religious and stuff, put your fear in God only. You won't fear anything else.
India.
Some people may have their reservations about that. Well, that's their psychological mindset. That's the way they're gonna live. And me, I'm not afraid of anything but God and maybe my mother, but that's about it. Right? Like, why should I be afraid of like struggle anymore? I used to complain all the fucking time. There's no point in complaining. It does nothing. It's like quicksand. The more you complain in the quicksand, the more you sink. That's how it works.
How old are you is a matter of interest? Go on, sir. I said, how old are you is a matter of interest.
I don't know you very well.
Thing is, it's okay to witch and Twitter, oh, suffering's so nice. You're obviously still quite young, because I'll tell you something, when you've done 70 years of suffering, you won't be so au fait about suffering. Have you experienced childbirth? No. So you don't know about that sort of pain that women suffer. So what do you know about suffering? Nothing. You know nothing.
Really?
All right, you know how it feels to be broke on a Friday before pay, you know. Okay, we all know that. So what do you know about suffering? Have you had cancer?
The audacity on this one.
Pardon?
The audacity on this one.
Sorry?
I said the audacity.
Oh, that's audacity. I'm saying, right, you're talking about suffering's so good. Okay, I'm just saying. And how much suffering have you actually experienced so far? It's all very relative. It's easy to, oh, yeah, suffering's okay until you do suffer.
Why should I even speak to that?
Well, then you shouldn't say suffering's okay then. Somebody will
No one thinks suffering's okay. But yeah, we get it. What else are we here for? Everybody's in a good mood. So no one was arguing for about 40 minutes.
Right.
But you're saying suffering so wouldn't have shown. I'm just asking what you have suffered to suggest that you think that suffering's so beautiful and
if you're suffering so beautiful, not beautiful, why do you water it? Do you want it to grow like a garden? Do you want it to take over the house? What do you want it to do?
There's many types of
garden and house for.
I don't think anyone here has...
Guys, this individual is engaging in
what's that
pain
got to do with houses and gardens?
Instead of speaking to the content of what I spoke.
Have you suffered, say, like a blind person suffers? No answer.
In one ear, out the other.
Yes, exactly. So you witter and twitch about suffering. Oh, suffering's okay, but you don't actually talk about what you suffered. So I don't know how you can draw that conclusion.
Well, clearly you can't comprehend a metaphor.
I beg your pardon?
You can't comprehend a metaphor, can you?
I can't comprehend a metaphor.
Yeah, that's what I said. Because I made a metaphor about
wittering and twittering about suffering. You don't know anything about
I made a metaphor. Okay, when you learn to speak, I'll listen to you.
Oh, fuck off, you stupid little man.
I'm not going to raise my voice and deal with somebody who's
fine. So, I've suffered so much, and it's the more you suffer, the more you learn. Yeah, you really learn a lot from being blind, or learn a lot from getting cancer.
Some people's sufferings actually end their
life. We're just going to mark down words. When Crazy Guru is here, no one used the word we. When Chickpea's here, no one used the word suffer. All right, let's move on.
Basically.
All right, did you not get the suffering thing?
Okay, can you let me speak?
No one else did. You, Fatima, did you understand this whole suffering stuff? You learned from suffering? I don't think
I'm not playing this bad faith game of pain.
I don't know what you learned from suffering. It's the mystery.
And I don't make any rules, by the way. I just say
I made an analogy of alchemizing struggles and pain and suffering into a better lot.
He knows nothing.
That's being a fucking man, right?
Doesn't know what he's talking about.
And
I haven't suffered, actually, but I know people who have. I know people who can't walk. Okay,
I don't even care to tell you how I suffered.
That's suffering. You don't know anything about suffering. Nothing.
Yeah, that's your assumption.
Oh,
everybody suffers in life just to live. Like we all experience. I don't know anybody that's never suffered. That's got to be impossible.
Chickpea, you're misconstruing what I spoke on.
Yes, I'm misconstruing. You are boasting about how much you know about suffering, and I'm just asking you, what do you know about suffering? You know nothing.
Let's stick to the fucking topic. And when life
you
is
started
shit,
it. Oh, I know
you can
all
turn
about
it into a better version of life. And that's simple.
You said we learn from suffering. Okay, show me how you learn from suffering. I'd love to know.
I don't need to prove anything to you.
Exactly. So you're talking shit, aren't you? You can't even prove it.
No, I don't need validation from you.
You can't even prove it.
Nobody needs validation from you, and I've proven myself.
Okay, so you say, oh, right, okay, everyone, I can do all sorts of,
You see, ladies and gentlemen, she decided to put my character and my life on judgment when I made an analogy of
You just
alchemy.
said you know all
Go ahead and
about
finish your point. Chickpea, let him finish his point for a second,
I'd
and then you
love
can
to
talk about
if she
suffering.
shut the fuck up. I'm not going to match her energy. I'm not going to deal with her pain. All that
What's he
bullshit.
said about suffering? Nothing, apart from it makes you learn. Well, I'd love to know what. I'd love to know what one learns by sitting in a wheelchair for one's whole life. I'd love to know what one learns.
Nobody's going to be able to speak so long as a crone keeps going on and on.
Oh, crawl. He says
crone.
people who are like who are like paralyzed should crawl everywhere. Chickpea, isn't that
I
nice?
didn't say that. I didn't say that. Now you're putting words in my mouth.
I wonder what the animals in the factory farms learn from their suffering. I wonder.
I'm eating some of them right now.
Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? You would be.
Yeah, I got chicken burgers coming out the oven right now. You want to hear You want to hear it?
That sums you up perfectly. You witter and twitter about suffering whilst yourself paying someone else to do that for you.
The fuck?
You talk about suffering, you know nothing.
Okay, man. Your demons are flaring up for some
My
fucking
demons?
reason.
At least I'm not a walking, talking graveyard like you are.
Yeah.
You know, Fatima, you should stay out of it. She's being a bit of a crone, and you know it.
No, actually.
All right, I'm the one that's in the wrong. You witter and Twitter. I know all about
No.
suffering.
I made
what
a
you know
topic
about
related.
so I can learn
I
from
made a
you.
topic
But
related.
you can't say a word about
Nobody
suffering.
can speak if you
Quantify suffering.
You have no empathy at all. You are
fuck you
walking,
can.
talking graveyard. You have no empathy for animals, none, which says it all about you.
Hey, D&W,
Says that
I'm
you
not
have
going to stick
no
around if somebody's
empathy.
going to be a crone just
You
chirping
have
all
no
the time.
empathy for others' suffering, none. Okay, if you're happy to eat
That's
an animal, you have
that's an
no
interesting
empathy. You are
accusation you have.
totally void of empathy. Totally
You see,
void.
you don't even care. You don't even care to get to know me, what I've been through. You're
I
just
don't want to know
accusing.
you for. You're a bloody meat eater. You make me sick.
Yes, I like eating meat. You got a problem with that? We are protein-based creatures. Thank you very much.
Ooh, you shouldn't have said that.
No, it's the truth.
What do you say?
He says we are protein-based creatures, so we have to, like, eat
Yeah.
like animals, pretty much.
He's a nasty piece of work. I don't care anyone says he's got no empathy for the suffering of others. None. And talks about suffering. What a contradiction. What a contradiction.
Interesting character you're painting. I don't know who that is.
Speak for yourself, you stupid little man. You
Look,
stupid.
you're being this way for no fucking reason because I made an analogy
I'm
of
being this
optimizing
way because
suffering
you
to
said you know.
knowledge.
I'm being this way because you said
look,
you know
look.
all about suffering. So I challenged you. What do you know about
Say I know
suffering? You have no empathy, so you cannot understand.
The question is, Chickpea. Someone in the live chat says. Someone in the live chat said, "Can you not accept that the man may have suffered, given you know nothing of his life?"
But what has he suffered exactly? Has he suffered like
Can I just say something on that? He may not want to tell you. He may not. He does. Maybe he's reached the conclusion that he doesn't have to tell you.
He hasn't suffered. He hasn't suffered in his whole life.
Because sometimes there is an idea, Fatima. I don't know what you think of this philosophically, but there is an idea. If you overcome suffering, it might be better not to talk about it to someone else because you talking about it may make others suffer unnecessarily. It's for them to overcome it themselves somehow or other. And you talking about it might make others have a problem when they didn't actually have one because they start thinking in the format you used to think like. And maybe they won't be able to see a way out of it. What do you think of that idea? Who's there? Ragnar.
I think it's pertinent.
sounds like a lot of bullshit to me, but whatever. Everyone is.
I don't know about that. I mean, Ragnarok, can you explain the wisdom of what I just said, perhaps?
He's a man.
Yeah, Ragnar, are you there?
No, sorry, I was collecting my thoughts.
Okay.
And I'd like Chickpea to not interrupt me. Thank you very much. No, it's pertinent. There's some kinds of suffering out there that when you share it, trolls will just use it against you and make you suffer and remember even more. And of course, they're going to do that. And of course, she's going to be like, I'm 70 years old. What do you know about suffering? You don't know what I've been through. You literally.
But there's
do not
also the
understand.
point, Ragnarok. The point I was making is sometimes people don't have problems until you tell them about a problem
Yes.
that you've had, and it may not have affected them, and then suddenly they start thinking about the abyss, and suddenly they're lost, and they may never get out of it.
That's their problem.
Well,
They
if
start
you-
thinking about
if-
Yeah, but Fatima, why do you have to put them in there in the first place?
I didn't put them anywhere. I just told them something. It's their fault whether they want to follow what I say.
Ragnarok, this is just thoughts flowing. Don't get too emotional. This is just
I know.
us exploring the ideas. Ragnarok, what do you think of that idea?
No, I think it's pertinent, and it's why I study Stoicism so much. The only thing I will say to give people a hint of what suffering I went through, I have CPTSD. There's only two ways to get that. You can make up your conclusion on your own and guess how you wish. Yes, reliving
Would you like to explain to people what CPTSD is?
complex PTSD, trauma so acute it causes your brain to shut down and not remember what happened to you. As a child or as a veteran of war. So
Were
shut
you in
the
a war?
fuck up. You can guess which one it was. I don't care. I won't tell you which one it was.
Are you a vet of like the?
I won't answer that. I won't fucking answer you. I will not hint to you why I have CPTSD. You can come up to the
Actually,
conclusion
I
on
just
your
want
own.
to say to you, actually, okay, I discovered when I was in my mid-30s, I had that, okay, and I went to the hypnotherapist. He dragged my whole past back, so I know exactly what you're talking about, okay?
So why are you trying to drag people's past back when a
Well,
therapist
you didn't say anything. I asked you what you were so as an expert on suffering about. You wouldn't tell
If you
me.
hurt yourself the way you spoke to me, you'd lose.
I don't give a shit if I spoke to you. I don't like you. I think you're a nasty little man. I don't like meat eaters. And I'm afraid, DW, I'm off to the party.
Chickpea, you can you don't have to speak, darling. You're under no pressure to speak. I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, but I mean, I'm always the one that's in the wrong. He started the
No, you're not in the wrong. You're not in the wrong. No,
said
Chickpea,
you're in the wrong.
nobody said you're in the wrong, Chickpea. Nobody said you're in the wrong. He's just trying to tell you why he doesn't talk about suffering or why he doesn't want to relay to you how he suffered. Can we move past that now?
I made an allegory of alchemy when life gives you shit. Turn lead to gold or fuck out of my face. That's where I'll leave it.
Yeah, I'd like
You
to
didn't
see
turn
you
your
say
lead
that
to
to
gold,
a child
Chickpea.
slave in Bangladesh.
You did not turn your lead to gold. You're still sitting there miserable like a crone, and you think everybody's out to get you. I'm
It's
not.
also
No,
very
Have a
cliched
good
what
day.
you said. It's also
No,
very
don't.
cliched.
Also, okay, children in Bangladesh who are sitting making the clothes that you buy, what about their suffering? Are you saying that they learn from that?
And there's over like 100 million
You're,
of them.
you're crossing suffering with quality of life. They're two separate things. Poor people can be very happy
Suffering
inside.
happens then.
Are you
There's
happy?
people
Because
who
you
live
don't
in the
sound
West
it,
who
let
have
me
been through
say.
some of the
You
most
don't
horrific
sound
shit
very
on the planet.
happy. You don't sound very happy, let me say.
See, now you're psychoanalyzing.
But
You're psychoanalyzing, looking for an angle to virtue signal. It's obvious.
yeah, it's all my fault, isn't it? You, the perfect,
No, it's not your fault.
perfect American man. I
You're
just asked
approaching
you
this conversation. I'm not American.
Yeah, he's from
I'm not
Canada.
American. So you constantly keep trying to put a thumb on me, and you fail every time.
No, you started it with, I know all
No,
about
it
suffering.
started it. I made an analogy. Shut the fuck up. I made an analogy of alchemy.
You shut the fuck up.
Turning lead to gold.
Yeah.
No. Your behavior is unbecoming. Okay, get the fuck out of the
Yes, it is.
forum if you're gonna
Well,
behave this way.
I don't want
very
you to like me,
cliche.
so
Like, my own
I don't give a
freaking-
shit what you think. I don't want your approval. I don't want you to like me. So that's that. If you like me, I'm very worried about myself.
I don't want to be liked by you either, honey.
That's something like my fucking father would say, just turn into gold, and he's fucking stupid.
So Fatima, you never turned any of your suffering.
Maybe he's wiser than you'll ever know, Fatima.
No, I
Yeah.
talked to
No one's
fucking
more
retarded.
clever than
He is
Fatima,
retarded.
Ron.
He has 3
You all know
children.
that.
So. He has
Oh,
3
he's a
children.
retard.
He knows how to raise life.
No. One is like an alcoholic. The other one is like just dumb iPad kid. So
Okay,
no.
so Fatima, what's your problem with your daddy? Why do you equate my alchemy a notion to that.
Oh, I'm just saying. Oh no, I don't have a problem. I'm just saying that like you sound like him.
Fucking sounds like
He's actually good to me because at least he hands me like a lot of cash
Look,
money. So
Fatima, I find it strange sometimes when I converse with you because one day you're like cool with me, the next you're just fucking weird with me. It's fucking weird. You be
I don't
consistent.
take any sides with anyone, man. I talk how I talk
I'm not
to
asking you to take sides. I'm asking for common cordial respect. Even enemies who would stab each other in the Senate Forum of Rome in the fucking face had the fucking respect to be cordial.
Well, I'm not a
Hey,
Roman
where's
soldier.
Brother Marcus? Let's get Brother Marcus in here and see if we can get some more balance.
He won't come for a while.
I feel several of us try to stay in the middle, and it seems impossible sometimes with
Guys,
the
guys,
ebb
I
and the
made
flow.
an analogy necessary to gnosis, okay? Suffering can equate to knowledge that you learn from that suffering. Correct? Every mystic, every occultist, every mystery school student, they'll tell you how to handle suffering is to turn it into knowledge, to transmute it into something better, make your life better. It's that simple. And then somebody went off on a tangent being like, oh, what do you know about suffering? Like, it's weird.
I don't think those religions solve all the problems of the world.
How do you talk about religions, bro? What
Yeah,
the
he's saying for the individual to alchemize your inner stuff for your peace.
Dex, dude. So that's you.
Okay, if you suffered from acute depression, how would you go about finding a way to cure that, Fatima?
How? I don't have that anymore. and like I have.
Oh, so you alchemized, you changed yourself.
I didn't. No, it has nothing to do with alchemy. It had nothing to do with that. Stop trying to turn
I
this.
don't think you understand what alchemy
what do
is.
You push through the shit, Fatima.
I mean, I still have it periodically. It's a seasonal depression. There you go. It's a seasonal.
You push through the shit. You push through the shit, and you push through the shit yourself, and you dare to disparage those who are still stuck in the shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's like the topic of the show, right? When life gives you shit, how do you deal with it? You alchemize your situation. You transmute. You change your shit situation into a better opportunity. That's the point.
PGA Tour is here. good to see you, brother. Do come on. He says there are options. You can smear the shit all over yourself and cry and complain about how stinky you are, or you can turn that same shit into manure that can aid in your growth. Both options are available. Great comment. The best comment of the night so far. Thank you.
That is a great analogy.
Maybe Fatima, you are smearing shit all over yourself. And you may have got through the shit, but you're in danger of going back into it because you're covering yourself in shit. You're perhaps on the surface of the shit, rolling around in it, and making yourself unsavory to others.
That's their problem.
Thank you, Fatima. Again, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. This is just dialogue, conversation. This may not be the case.
It's not.
Kenny, you're on the Finding Gnosis show. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I'd just like to say to Pierre, I know he's left now, but I hope he's not going to make the same mistake as the last time when I pointed out that Christine's son is an emotional vampire. Well, now I'm pointing out to him that Chickpea is an emotional vampire, and he just experienced her vampirism firsthand. So
Okay,
yes,
this is a rare one, Kenny. I will give you your flowers because how she treated and behaved was very wanting to get a reaction.
That's what emotional vampires do. I'd say she's a borderline psychopath, actually. I really do. That's how I feel about it.
That's a side effect, though, of who she is. That's not who she is.
I don't think she's a psychopath at all, Kenny. I think that's very unfair. You've been accused of being one as well, Kenny, by others. Do you get what I'm saying, Kenny? It's people pointing fingers at each other. Some people have said you're a psychopath.
Oh yes, you'll always point the finger at each other. I will look at the behavior in the moment. Kenny, let me finish. I will point to the behavior in the moment. I understand some people sometimes have a bad day. She has a personal bias against me about to eat chicken right now. I have chicken burgers going on the bread right now. I'm cooking them. She takes a moral issue with that. So I'm not going to hold that personally against her. There's no point in getting angry about it. Why?
Well, it goes a lot deeper than that. There's a whole lot of power dynamics in play here.
My friend, I've dealt with a lot of deep shit lately, and I don't even care if she's a vegetarian and hates me because I'm about to eat meat. I'm not. Her behavior. She can be a kind woman to all. Still, if people can't have their disagreements, but still get along as humans, and love thy neighbor and stuff like that, then that's a problem, right? You can't just outright hate people over your political or movement stance, right? It's just dumb. It's a waste of energy to me.
There was some planes flying over. I thought you guys might want to see the AWACS, but it went behind the tree.
Anyway, I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to sing a song. All right? Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. I forgot the lyrics.
There you go. You'll have to try later. No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
I'm going to be muted for a while because of meeting, but I'll be listening.
Okay. Well, listen. I think we'll have a musical interlude for a while just to gather ourselves after what's being a kind of emotional roller coaster. So a brief, I suppose, 4-minute musical interlude. Oh, that ended abruptly. I won't replay it, don't worry. So, anybody want to say anything? I don't know what happened to Retro. He dropped out. Retro, you weren't booted by anybody here. You're welcome to come on. There are links under the video if you want to come on here. This is the Finding Gnosis show. Do feel free to join and keep things going if you want to. The mic belongs to whoever speaks next.
Yeah, I guess it's the willingness to endure bad information or horrible information that keeps some people intellectually honest. It's what allows people in this metaphor to become trees. And compassion exhaustion is important when it comes to this, because one has to have the right amount of compassion. If one has too much compassion, one can be overwhelmed by the horrors of the world and the shit, and one might not help others. But if one has too little, then one is almost like a psychopath, and then one doesn't do anything. But when one has already been established as a tree that has grown from the shit, then what's next? The sky that doesn't ever end, and one can continuously grow and learn and be an advocate for things that helps others. But how much can one endure and suffer through it and help others? It never has an end in sight. Hypothetically, it could go on forever.
Thank you for that.
The shore of end soon. The show will end soon.
Yeah, I think the show will end soon on YouTube, but however...
Finding Gnosis will continue on X.com. Check out the Finding Gnosis X space where you can listen to further finding of Gnosis after the show. See you there! Finding Gnosis, now on X spaces at X.com.
Yeah, we will head over to X, so come with us if you want to. We'll continue the conversation. We'll continue Finding Gnosis on X. Link is available in live chat, but just look up Finding Gnosis on X.com and you will find us anyway. We will continue there a few minutes after the show ends here, and it's already been said. Yes.
Shore of end soon. The show will end soon.
Yes, the show is going to end here on YouTube, and we are going to go to X, where things are a little bit more laid back. So do come over there if you want to. It will be fun to see you there and talk to you there. Right, I suppose we'll do closing remarks here. Nefaris, are you coming over to X?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to give your closing remarks here on YouTube?
So the closing remarks about how I think I've said everything I wanted to say, but I could try to think a little bit more about the closing remarks. Perhaps I could be the last one and then the others you think about their closing remarks?
Yes, that's fine, brother. That's fine. Okay, Fatima, do you want to give your closing remarks here on YouTube before we go to X?
Absolutely. I'll see you there. But like, yeah. Thank you for the show once again, DNW. It was kind of yeah, it was nice, even though I do have my ways, but I am who I am, and we'll leave it at that. But thank you once again for also providing me space to share some thoughts that a lot of people would call unsavory in my real life, but that really doesn't matter now, doesn't it? So yeah, thank you so much, DNW. Thank you all for watching and for engaging with the conversation at hand. Thank you so much, DNW. Thank you.
Okay. Pristine, would you like to give your closing remarks for the YouTube show before we go to X? She might be elsewhere. She might be elsewhere. Are you there, Pristine? No, no problem. Ragnarok, do you want to give your closing remarks before we go to X?
Yeah, sure.
Are you coming, by the way?
Probably not. I might.
Okay.
I think, look, man, when life fucks you over, you just gotta swim through it and get through it. That's about all. Here's what I wanted to say. People are so one-dimensional. They don't apply alchemy to psychology, science. Like they keep it to the realm of science or whatever, whatnot. But they don't apply it to psychology or even spirituality or gnosis. Um, people look at information and they apply it in a one-dimensional pattern. I refuse to do that. There are multi-dimensional methods of using different kinds of thinking. It's how you think outside the box. And if you're going to solve a problem, you need to know the problem, right? Same thing like know your enemy, you'll know yourself, right? So if you know your problem, you'll know your solution. It just comes with the par, right? But some people, they, there's people who are stuck in their ways and they don't want to change. Um, that's the opposite of evolution. There is like no gnosis demands change, right? And there's some kinds of knowledge, as in gnosis, that comes with a consequence that makes your life even worse, right? Like if you are exposed, for example, if an individual was exposed to the Epstein files before everybody else knew about it, you would think they were crazy. They talked about cannibalism and child trafficking and all the fucking horrors of what they did. You would psych ward that individual. But after last year, you'd listen to that individual, especially if they talked about it very early on, as if they had an intuition and saw it. You know, it's very lonely when people have a heightened intuition and they can sense things, see things in ways people just can't perceive. Right? It's like judging not with physical eyes, um, but like turning suffering into a spirit of wisdom to get through that suffering. It's the only way forward. Because I'm a gamer, right? Like I'm not gonna say I'm a gangster. I'm not gonna say I'm some fucking warrior or anything. I'm gonna say I'm a gamer. I like solving puzzles. I like solving situations, mysteries. Um, like a detective, you could say I like chasing a lead when it comes to like conspiracy stuff. And when you figure things out, that like that old adage in the Bible where it says like the accumulation of knowledge equals sorrow, but also sorrow and pain can lead to knowledge, right? Like it's the Odinic sacrifice of like one eye for knowledge, right? Like, most people don't understand the symbology of that. Sometimes there's also this metaphor: the blind can see, where those who see cannot, because they listen more, they smell more, they sense more, and people don't know how to use a multidimensional method to approach a situation. But then they sit there hoping to understand about aliens and UFOs and interdimensional beings when they can't even understand the multidimensional theory. So when I speak of alchemy or the art of war, it's not just application to warfare. application to science. It has to do with application of psychology, personal growth. You can wage war on your own problems, on your demons, right? Like you can look at The Art of War, the book itself by Sun Tzu, in a completely different lens, in a psychological way. And it's actually very interesting how you can look at different perspectives of the human experience and find kernels of knowledge there.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. Okay, Nefarious Rockers, do you want to give your closing remarks before we go to X and have our X space, defining Gnosis X space?
It was an excellent topic, and in order to grow through the crap, one needs to have intellectual honesty, and that intellectual honesty comes from several components. It comes from compassion. One needs compassion first of all, but one also needs grit and endurance to deal with it and keep growing. And since there's no end in sight to how far one could possibly grow, it can be tempting to give up, but one needs to keep growing regardless of the fact. Thanks for the show today.
Thank you very much, Nefarious Rockers, and thank you to everybody who tuned in and made an attempt to find Gnosis with us. We tried our best. And that's all that matters. Okay, see you on X. We're going to X now. We're going to the Finding Gnosis X space right now. X.com. Look up Finding Gnosis. You will find us. See you there. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.